Good morning and happy Wednesday. I'm so excited to be here. It's been interesting. I just got here at my desk and I always open the blinds. My window's right here, right there. And I always open the blinds and I have a little bird problem this morning. It's not a problem for me because I love birds, but it seems to be a problem for them because they think they can get into the window. So it started with one and then there's multiple. So anyway, we are talking today about hopefully I won't be too distracted by the birds. I love birds, by the way. I don't even know what kind of birds these are. They're just little, I don't know. I would call them mutt birds, but I'm sure they're not mutts. But they're just regular birds. I don't know what to call them. It's not like a red bird or anything like that. It's just a regular old bird. So anyway, today we were talking about learning styles. And the reason why we're talking about this is because I just got back from the beach retreat, Stay Salty and Shine 2024 beach retreat. So much fun. Had amazing ladies there, so many tears, so many smiles, so many laughs. Just a great time. We had a wonderful time. Titles, boop, 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 everywhere. Book titles, books multiplying, books. It was just amazing. We had a great time. If you're watching and you were there, let me know in the comments. I was there. So we're talking about learning styles today because we did a project, and I should have brought it in here with me. Of course I didn't. It's still packed away from the trip. I haven't actually unpacked from the trip. You guys, I took 9 vintage suitcases filled with supplies, a little bit of decoration, not too much decoration, a lot of supplies, a whole lot of supplies for mainly our Friday project, which was altering a book. So we took an old Reader's Digest book and turned it into a prayer journal. And so in doing that, you tear out pages, and you add things in, and you fold and bend and glue pages to make this amazing journal. Look who's joining us. Surprise, surprise. I was wondering if she was going to get off the couch and come join us. Let me move my notes over so I make room for this girl. She's coming to say hi. So now we've got birds and dogs. I feel like what's that dog, that show, the Dr. Dolittle? Why are all these animals coming at me today? Oh, but look, she's sleepy. She just wants to curl up in my lap. Bless her heart. She just wants to sleep. Look at that sweet puppy. All right. So that's Jovi Noelle, if you don't know. She's my new pup. She was born in January. So what is that, 7 months old? Okay. So we did this prayer journal, and what this prayer journal taught me, it was really eye-opening because I have been coaching with some of the women in the group for over a year, and some of the women were brand spanking new to me, and some of them were old friends, and some of them were people that I've known for a couple months. One of them was my sister. So it's just interesting to see all the different learning styles because what I was teaching, it was complex. It was, first of all, you have to get over the hurdle of destroying a book, right? Because you're literally destroying a book. And I will be posting pictures. We're actually going to host a retreat in January. It's actually going to be the third weekend in January in Comfort, Texas. That has been secured now. And we are going to do a vision prayer journal. So for your vision of your life, instead of a vision board, you're going to be doing a vision journal. And we are going to spend the whole weekend because one thing I learned is it takes more time to do this project than one day. So we're going to spend the whole weekend, and we're going to really take our time going through I teach through 7 different areas of vision, and we're going to take our time going through that. So if you're interested, I would say join that beach retreat waitlist that's in the comments. I don't actually have a waitlist for this event yet, but you can get on that beach retreat waitlist, and I'll make sure you get the information. But what I learned was, first of all, it takes more time to do this project, right? And then you have people that basically there's 3 types of learners, and none of them are wrong or right? We're all different. We're all created differently. I am not about putting people in a box. We don't all have to be alike. And that's really important to understand, that you don't have to be like someone else, especially when it comes to writing, right? Because a lot of people have this vision of what a writer should be like, and they get stuck in their own head. They're like, oh, I should be in this like dark office with my little lamp on, or I should have this really cute creative writing space, or whatever, right? I should write from coffee shops, or you go on and on, right? Whatever your vision is. In fact, I would love to know that in the comments. Like, what is your vision? Let's see who in the comments. Who's checking us out today? Oh, look, we got Kim. Hi, Kim. Okay, Stephanie can only stay till 11:30. Hopefully we'll get to some good content and then we'll be done by 11:30. These only last really 30 minutes, so we'll be done by then. Stephanie, for this. These Writing Wednesdays only last a half an hour. Now, when we do the paid inside the membership, those are over an hour, or at least an hour, most of the time. Okay, Kim. Hi, Kim. Sorry, I'm like, oh, we're just getting started. So glad it was amazing. I wish you could have been there too, and make plans for next year because we're doing book signings, and so by next year you'll have both of your books ready to go for that. Stephanie was there. I'm so happy you were, and yes, she is the perfect little emotional support animal. And as she's starting to get a little older, it's a lot nicer. Okay. I would love to come to the vision retreat. Perfect. I will make sure you get the information. My vision is a writing desk with zero distractions or a porch overlooking nature. Oh, you're speaking my language, Kim. However, most of my writing is from my couch with my dog snuggling. Most of my writing is also from my couch. I moved from the couch. I don't write as much in my office in here as I used to, probably because if y'all saw what the rest of my office look like right now, it's more of a warehouse for the writer's retreat box. You know, there's boxes stacked everywhere. There's books stacked everywhere for the journals. I mean, it's just a warehouse, really, the rest of the office. So it's not as, I don't know, it just feels cluttery to me. And so I don't like writing in here. And plus the way the keyboard's set up and all that. I just prefer to write in those other spaces too. So, I imagine myself, a little cottage on the beach. Now you're speaking my language. You girls, we just need to get a little way. We need to just rent one of those and do that, right? I do zero writing in my office. It's also my work office. So not as quite as free. Yes, exactly, right? Not as free from distractions. Okay, so let's talk about distractions. Let's talk about the different kinds of learners. So I have three different types. One is the person who likes step-by-step instructions. Stephanie is one of those people, and there's nothing wrong with that. Stephanie likes, tell me what to do here. Okay, let me do that, and then come back and tell me what to do next. Nothing wrong with that. Stephanie, I'm so glad I learned that about you. It's going to help me coach you better this next year. So step-by-step learners are people who get easily distracted, right? Whether they are diagnosed ADHD or not, there's people who are step-by-step learners who really just prefer to slow down, give me the step, let me do the action, let me implement it, and then let me come away and do the next step. So there's nothing wrong with that. And I think sometimes people are hard on themselves and say, I'm just too distracted, or I'm overwhelmed, or there's just too much coming at me. And that may be true, and it may feel like that. But that's where we just have to retreat back, knowing I'm a step-by-step learner. I have a lot going on in my mind, or a lot going on, and I just need one step, implement, one step, implement. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you identify that, then you can be like, bing, 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 bing. I now know this is what I need. And now I know how to work with your coach if you're working with me. So for me, it was so helpful to have some of my coaching attendees there, or my coaching membership ladies there, because I can better coach you. Like, I totally get it now, how each of you learn, and it is so, so helpful. So we will always be doing an activity at the beach retreat. It may not always be as complex, because it was pretty complex. However, the complexity of it certainly helped flesh out some of these learning styles. Okay, so step-by-step is the first one. So are you a step-by-stepper? Raise your hand. Maybe you're not sure yet, so let's talk about the next one. The next one is the person who learns the information and follows the directions. They just need, like, show me what to do. Let me see it, show me, and I will just do it. And we had some of those at the retreat. We had some of those very clearly. They could even see the finished project. Jan was one of those people. Catherine was one of those people. They could see the finished project, and they immediately could go to work with it. I mean, Jan was like halfway through her book, and we're like, we're not even like, she could see it, right? She just needed the lesson. This is what we're doing it. This is what we're doing, and then she went with it. Or were they wingers? That's the third type, the wingers. I'm a winger. I am a wing it girl. Show me something. Tell me you want something. I'm just gonna wing it. I'm a little bit of a combination, I think. it was funny when I was telling my mom I was doing this new, this journal thing at the beach retreat and altering a book. She asked me, "Well, who taught you that?" And I was like, "The internet, Mom. That's who teaches us everything these days, like the internet." But 10, 20 years ago, she learned from a person in person and actually um, went to a class, right? And so she was taught how to alter books. And so she was shocked that I just picked it up like that and just ran with it. But I'm a learner in the fact that I can listen to the directions and follow them quickly. But I'm a winger in the fact that I'm like, oh, let me just try it and see what happens, right? I'm a risk taker there. So I'm probably a good combination of the two. And we had some wingers in the group. We had some people who were like, let me just jump in and try this. Oh, wait, I tore this page out. Or, oh, wait, I think Yvonne, Yvonne was a little bit of a winger at one point. She got ahead of herself in gluing her pages, and then it made a bubble in it. You know what? Not a problem, because it's a junk journal, or, altered book. And so we just fix it, right? But that's what happens with us wingers is we just jump in and then we're like, oh man, I think I messed this up. We got to fix it. There's nothing wrong with any of these styles, you guys, nothing. We just have to know which one we are so we can best learn, best know how to ask for help, and identify maybe some pitfalls that could come, right? So let's talk about some of the pitfalls, and maybe you guys can give me some of the pitfalls of your own learning style. So if you've identified your style, which one are you? Are you a step-by-step learner? Are you a learn it and follow the directions? Or are you just a wing it? I'm just going to wing it. I'm not listening to what they say. I'm just going to wing it. Which one are you? Okay, let me know. And then tell me some of the pitfalls that come with your particular learning style. But let's talk through some of them. So let's see who answers what here. So Stephanie, she nailed hers. She's a step-by-step. She needs a step-by-step. Kim says she's step-by-step. I would say so too, Kim, but you are also very much the middle one. You look at the lesson, you follow it. You look at the lesson, you follow. You're very like you don't need the baby steps. Like I didn't baby step you through the publishing process. You looked at the information, you learned it, and you followed it. Step-by-steppers are more, they need to come back and ask again, what's the next step again? And there's nothing wrong with that. But with lesson learners and followers, they can just give them the content, they're just going to consume it and do it, right? And so I think, Kim, you're a little bit more of a consume it and do it person. You are very much, you like the step-by-steps. I think maybe you need a little bit more of that step-by-step because you get a little lost in the where do I go next? Which, Kim, if you have not been over in the new platform yet, we've got to get you in the new platform. You're going to love it. Dawn came over already into the new platform. Stephanie's in the new platform already. Stephanie, tell me the difference. How do you like the new platform for the content library versus the old platform, right? It's night and day, and it's going to help you with that step-by-step because it's the same content, but the platform's so much easier to use and navigate. You're going to see so much easier. But for now, Kim, you are in the other platform, and the same checklist is at the top of that platform, and you can go get that checklist and make sure that you're going step by step, okay? Step by step. Just got on, I think I'm a combination. Yes, I think, Laura, you are definitely a combination. Which combination are you, Laura? That's the interesting part. Which combination do you think you are? Because I think you're a combination too, but maybe a different combination? That's interesting. Stephanie says I can be a bit of a winger too, impulsively. Yes, because I think the reason why you're a bit of a winger, Stephanie, is because you get overwhelmed, and so you're just like, if I'm going to do it, I just got to try it, right? And so you just end up winging it. I think where you need to acknowledge your step-by-stepness is when you feel overwhelmed, is say, okay, I'm overwhelmed. Take a step back and say, what is the right step here? And if you can't figure it out, that's where you need to reach out to somebody. So whatever that is in your life, if with publishing, it's me. So reach out and say, okay, this is where I am. I just got home from this retreat. You gave me all these assignments. You gave me all this information. And where do I go next? Right? So we'll talk a little bit more about that in the coaching group this afternoon at noon. And I know you probably can't be there, but just watch the replay. We'll talk about that in the Facebook group for the private coaching. What's the next step for everybody that just got home? For those of you who didn't get a chance to go, but are still looking for your next step, what is it? So we'll talk about that. All right, let's see. Kim says, some of the pitfalls I put on myself on hold, waiting for the next. Yep. Hold, waiting for the next instructions. Hold, waiting for the next. Yeah, you're waiting. Instead of taking the action or thinking through what do I need to do next, you're waiting. That can certainly be a pitfall. It's also sometimes, though, I love it because it reminds me of the question I coach people through when they're hiring, like getting ready for jobs. They'll say, that question, what's your biggest strength? What's your biggest weakness? Whatever. I like to coach people through how to answer that question. And I would say this is one of those answers because what could be seen as a pitfall could also be a great strength. The fact that you're holding off and you're waiting for the next instruction, you're not being impulsive, it could be negative because the longer you wait, you might be missing some stuff, but it could also be a really bad I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the dog to stop biting me. My husband said we need to put jalapeno juice on our hands. I'm like, that's going to be really comfortable for us. I might try some yuck spray instead. But she likes to nibble on us still, that puppiness. So don't beat yourself up too much for the waiting, but don't get stuck in the waiting, okay? Don't get stuck. And that's where identifying how you're a learner is really important. Okay, I really don't know. I think I'm a step-by-stepper. Brenda, I think you're more of a lesson and follow. If the lesson, like when we gave you the lessons, you were like, okay, I can do this. Like once it was explained to you, you're like, oh, I get what we're doing and I can totally do it. And you just went boom, 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 and you did it. I would think you're more of a just give me the lesson, teach it thoroughly, and then I can follow it. And you did. You went home, you completely finished out your journal. Like you've already been journaling and praying in it and writing in it. It's fantastic. So you're very much a give me the lesson, teach me the content, and I will follow. Very, very good. Oh, yes, Stephanie. I love the new platform so much. And there's so many new things that I can do for you guys through that platform that I haven't even implemented yet that I'm so excited about. I'm very glad I have my VA now to help me get through some of the tasks because there's just so much I want to do for you guys in there. It's going to be fantastic. If you are watching this on replay or you're watching this for the first time and you're live and you're not part of that membership and you want to be, grab publishandtell.com/membership. We'll get you the information you need to join us over there in the new platform. It's all automated. You'll be sent the new stuff to get in that new platform. I'm so excited. Now, if you're watching this and you're part of the older, like you've been part of the original platform, you've been part of the ABN transformation, make sure you check your email because you've got a discount link coming to you because you're grandfathered in, okay? You're grandfathered in. All right, let's see. I think that helps me when I'm feeling stuck. I write out my framework, but I think I didn't have a clear vision on it. So I need to go back and rewrite my framework and outline so I have a better direction. I think that guidance of taking a step back. Yes, take a step back. And here's the thing with your framework, Kim. Go back through the teaching on framework. Go back through if you haven't used the worksheets in the content library, go back through, use the worksheets, make sure you're answering the questions. Ultimately, where are you trying to lead your reader? What are you, where are you trying to take them? And we can talk more through this in the coaching hour as well. But go back to the content, go back to the source, right? And make sure that you're following all the steps and answering the questions. Because sometimes we can start writing and we start going off this and we're like, this isn't even where I was wanting to go, right? Laura says, I'm very organized, so step by step is more important, but I don't know what I'm doing winger at other times. Yes, Laura, that was exactly the combination I was thinking of for you. So we talked earlier about the lessons and the winging it. I think you're the other two. You're a step-by-stepper and a winger, which is so funny. So yes, I would definitely identify yourself as that. You like the step-by-step learning, but you're also not afraid to wing it, which is good. You're not afraid to wing it. You just have to be careful of the pitfalls of each of those. So fantastic, Laura, that you could identify that. Now, where do we watch the replays? You watch the replays of this right here on this channel. You watch the replays of the coaching calls inside of that Facebook group. So go back, Stephanie, to, I Didn't I send you an email? I don't know if I sent you the email. I'll tag you in the group, but basically where I invited you to that event yesterday from the group is where you will watch it. That's where you can go back to the event, you can go to past, go under in that group, go to events, go to past events, and you'll click on them and you can watch the replays. Now, when you click on it, I believe the video shows up in the comments section of that type of event, but right there. So in that group, Stephanie, go to past events and then past events. So under, I think it says more, you'll have to click on where it says more than events, and then you can grab that. Okay. Let's see what Kim says. Also dangerous if you wipe your eye by accident. Oh yeah. Probably with the yuck spray too. I don't know what the yuck spray is, but it has some kind of bitterness to it. So I'm imagining it would be the same way with the yuck spray. But here she is again, sitting on my lap, chewing up my fingers. The other day, my husband put gloves on. He's like, this is so much better. And I'm like, look, I'm going to sit around with gloves on, but I might have to today because I'm live. I'm on camera today from this until 3:30. So with her in my lap, chewing up my hands all day, I might be wearing gloves by the end of this for sure. Haven't gotten there yet. Hoping on publish until site this afternoon or tomorrow. Oh, perfect. Yeah, you have the information. You're already set up, Laura. So just click the link and get in there. You should have gotten an email yesterday to welcome you in to the new platform. I think you're gonna love it. Stephanie loves it already. Yvonne has already been in there. You know, guys, she just got back and is sick. Hopefully nobody else is sick. She got back and ended up sick, and she got in there and she's already plowing through those modules. So she's commenting on each one as she goes through, so which is really fun. I get to kind of see where she's at in the process. So I'll do that. Comment on the modules when you get in there. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if you need more information on that particular module. But you definitely will enjoy this platform a lot more than you did. Yes, the new platform. No, all the replays, all these lives, anytime I'm going live like this, Stephanie, it's on Facebook. So these Writing Wednesdays are public and free every Wednesday at 11. And then the coaching calls are inside the Facebook group for the Publish and Tell community, and that is here on Facebook as well. So I've invited you to the event, so you should look through your notifications. You should see event invitations for that. One's for the Q&A and one's for the Tech Talk. So check those invitations, check your notifications for invitations to those events. All of that's happening right here on Facebook anytime I go live like this. Now, I say that, Stephanie, you're going to hate me. I say that, but remember we talked about at the retreat about switching Fridays, first of all, the Tech Talks to Fridays. And so we decided to go ahead and do that. I know it works better for a couple people. Kim, I think, said it worked better for her. Dawn, I think, said it worked better for her. So we switched. Well, Q&A will still stay on Wednesdays, second Wednesday of the month. Third Friday of the month will be Tech Talk. But that particular Tech Talk, I decided to do a Zoom. So, you still go to the event on Facebook and you can click and the Zoom link will be right there for you so that you can join me over on Zoom. So that one you can actually join me live. I'll be sharing my screen because we're going into some really technical things that I think everybody needs to see, and it's just that's the way I can share screen for now is over there. If I can happen to figure it, I like it there too, because you guys can talk to me in real time. You can ask questions in real time. You can show your camera, not show your camera, whatever you're comfortable with. I prefer when you can show your camera, just so I can see your faces. But if you're someplace where you can't or whatever, I understand that too. So, all right. 3 types of learners, just to recap. Are you a step-by-step? Are you show me the lessons and get out of the way? I'm going to just follow the directions and do it. Or are you a winger? Do you just wing it? Which one are you? And what are your pitfalls and the ways you can overcome it? So let's talk a little bit about that before we hop off. We have a few minutes left. So pitfalls, step-by-steppers. Pitfalls can be that they are easily overwhelmed and that causes them just to stop. It almost causes like a paralysis, right? They're like, I just can't figure this out. I'm just going to stop. And so no progress has been made. Or will be made, right? Because you're overwhelmed, so you stop. So that's probably one of the biggest pitfalls for people who like step-by-steps. And people who like step-by-steps, there's the difference between step-by-step to me and lessons and follow are this. Step-by-step is literally, and Stephanie, remember, if it was like, okay, glue this page here. And you're like, okay, let me just do that, right? And then come back. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it was that one task. So think about it that way. Step by step is literally like one step at a time, right? The lessons and follow are more like you're given the whole big picture. You're given like in the community, right? Everybody has access to the full picture on how to publish your book. You could jump in there, lessons and follow, and you could publish your book in the next week. If you went through, binged it all, did it all, and just done, you could be done. Well, not the next week because you got to go through editing and all that, but you get what I'm saying. Now, there's nothing wrong with either style. And sometimes there will be crossover between the two. Sometimes in the lessons and follow people, especially in this publishing world, even in the book journal that we were doing, you can see the bigger picture, but maybe you overlooked something or you didn't understand the reason why you had to do something a certain way. So you just did it what you thought was a better way, when maybe there wasn't, and it wasn't actually a better way, right? So let's go back to the book thing. Some people, when we were ripping out pages, and I don't remember who it was, they're like, I'm just going to rip out all these pages. And then it left like the ugly part, right? And we're like, oh, well, we got to fix that. We can't leave it ugly. So we had to go back and fix it because they listened that we're going to be ripping out these pages. And then they just kind of went for it, right? And did what they thought was best. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that sometimes there's a reason to order, I guess, a reason to it. And so we really, when we're doing the lessons and follow, sometimes we can get so caught up in the minutia of, okay, we were told to do this, I'm going to just do this, that we don't see the bigger picture, or we don't think, slow down to ask questions along the way about the content, about, am I doing this correct? Is this right? What do you think of this? Like just getting some feedback along the way. So that would probably be a pitfall of those of you that are lessons to follow, those kind of people. So make sure that as you're learning and as you're moving forward in anything in your life, whether it's making a junk journal or publishing a book, that you identify yourself and then move in. Of course, wingets, we know, right? That's kind of an obvious pitfall, right? A winger, we just do it and live with the consequences, right? And sometimes it turns out really well, and other times it's like, oh, wait, right? And hopefully if you're a winger, you're a woman of faith, and so you're like, God, please make a message out of my mistakes or out of the mess I created, right? And he can certainly do that. I think I said that in one of my first book, and then I think Kim, I think you said that in your book too, or you mentioned that in your content. God can make a message out of our message. Okay, I think I got the Zoom invite. I will be at my son's in California next Friday, so I'm not sure that will work. Okay, that will also be recorded. Now that one's different, Stephanie. For that, when it's on Zoom, I will record it and then I will upload it to the content library. So it'll end up in the platform, and there's not a space there yet for that because I just haven't moved over that information of past recorded things. But there will be, and you can go and find it there in the past recorded content. Okay. So know that if you miss it, it's still there. It'll be there for you to watch the replay. But when it's on Zoom, it's got to be, well, we'll be going Zoom to Facebook, so it should be in Facebook too. We won't just be over on Zoom, or will we? I don't know. That's a good question. But either way, the replay will be there for you to watch. Okay. All right. Anybody have any last minute questions or thoughts on this learning types? Any last minute comments on which one are you? Is there a fault that we hadn't seen in these that maybe we should be aware of? Or are we good to go with moving forward with our learning style and knowing that it's okay to be this learning style, and I just need to ask for help more, ask for feedback more, or slow down, right? Those are probably the biggest three, depending on your style, that you need to do. All right. Well, it was certainly fun chatting with you guys. I love being back, and thank you, Kim. I love being back and talking to you guys. I'm so excited about this new platform and all that's to come. You guys, I really wish I would have just jumped into using Kajabi, and I wish I would have jumped into Kajabi 3 years ago when we started the membership to start with, because I'm actually excited about uploading all the new content and making videos and getting everything in there because it's just so easy to use. Whereas before, I didn't like the platform, and so just adding new content was just like, yeah, ugh. Like I didn't like hanging out in there. Why would you guys like hanging out in there? But now that's a different story. So me and Jovi are saying bye. And if you're on the coaching call, I'll see you at noon. All right, take care, everybody.